and our loved ones do too. So the angels will come in and then they'll also bring in maybe our grandma or other relatives who've passed to help us see what they see, which they also can see without time. They see the past and the future for us. It's pretty extraordinary.
Do the angels work with God, with Source, with Christ? I mean, how do they fit into this hierarchy? I'm sure a lot of this is, obviously, laid out sort of through the ancient text, but how do you see it, or is there anything about that that maybe we don't understand?
My understanding from just connecting to them daily is that archangels work for God. They are, they do the work for God. God is the big source. God is love. God's the creator. And the angels are running around doing their specific duties for God. That's my understanding.
So they do their duties for God.
Mhm.
How do we come into that? Is it then safe to say that God wants us to receive some of this supernatural help? And if so, like why? How do you see that?
Well, I believe God created everything. He created angels, he created us. And, we can pray to God for help and he'll send an angel to help us. Or we can just go, God and angels, or angels, help me. Archangel Michael, protect me. That's the same as asking God to protect you because he would send Michael.
Okay. So we get a lot of questions, Debbie, about all sorts of things, like is
Mhm.
this path the one for me, or is this other path, or what's going here, what's going there? What are some of the bits of information that you've gotten from the angels over the years? What sorts of things do they tell you? What sort of ways have you seen people helped by this information?
Oh, it's incredible. You can see babies before they're even conceived.
Oh,
So
wow.
the a lot of times the ancestors will be holding a baby that hasn't quite yet been conceived. And then I'll find out the person, has a pregnancy in the family. It can also be protective, like a trip shouldn't happen or
Ooh, like
ghosting.
don't go on that flight or don't do
Correct.
that. Okay. Wow.
Protection, a lot of protection, a lot of help with, if angels can see without time or see future, they can give information that could help the person make a decision in a different way. They don't tell us what to do, but they tell us what they see, and then the person has free will. They can't interfere with free will.
Yeah, I think the big challenge people have, we were talking about this kind of multiple worlds interpretation in quantum physics that every time you think a thought, every time you have a desire for something, there is literally some quantum physicists believe like a world that's been created, like God created a world where that is happening.
Yeah.
And the question is like, how do we move towards that? How do we merge to that thing inside that we really want? How do the angels see kind of our destiny and maybe is there any wisdom that they have for how we can get into that world or that life that we truly feel that, is part of what we want?
I got to share something. You talked about that in the earlier
Yeah.
about think about what you want. You created a quantum connection to it. If you go, I really would love to do this. That's real. That you loving to or wanting to do something that you love, you created an energy it's like a spark. Now, the second part, how does that connect to the real world? You have to make up your mind that you're going to do that. You have to tell your mind or somehow ask angels to help your mind because they help so much with consciousness. I believe I'm going to do that or I am doing that. It's when we get stuck in doubt or how do we do it or the that can actually block us. So how do you make it happen? You have to believe it.
How do the angels help with that? Because I feel that and maybe I'm wrong on this, but I've seen this in my own life, so I don't think I'm wrong, at least for me, right? That there's like I want this, but all along the path, there's these shortcuts. There's like,
Right.
well, if you take this little turn here, you're gonna get there like 5 years sooner. But I know you're hearing all these voices that tell you do this. That's going to be like now you're like 20 years away. Can they help us shorten that time frame to actually receiving those things that we want?
Absolutely. So one thing I love is asking angels for help with whatever. Find my keys, find a parking spot, help me meet my partner. Help me in business, help my business succeed. And then I like to add the word fast.
Okay,
Nobody
guys, girl, this is a tip. Help my fast. Okay.
fast. Because they don't have time, but they know the word fast. You say fast,
Oh.
add that in. It
So
works.
what? So wait a minute. We're going to unpack sort of this angelic croaks. This is really important because a lot of you may be trying to manifest something or receive something, and you're trying to speak to angels or to these higher guides. And like you just said, this was a nuance, but super important. They don't know time. If you're an angel floating around in the infinite realm, like what is time? You're around forever. Like next week to us might seem like, oh my God, I'll be cooked if this doesn't happen by next week. But to them, it's like they don't know that. But you said use the word fast. Explain a little more about that.
So they don't understand time, but they understand fast, that it means like for us in a hurry. It means it's our human understanding, and they actually understand that better. That's what I figured that out. I was like, help me find my keys, and I would find them a month later. I needed my keys fast. Then they show up, and what happens is they make your mind see it. Angels
Whoa.
affect consciousness.
Whoa.
They cause your mind to go, oh, why don't I do this?
I had the weirdest thing happen on Friday. I couldn't find my wallet. Like Friday night, I was about to go to bed, and I was like, "Where's my
Mhm.
wallet?" I couldn't find it, and I told my wife Sherry, "I'm like, oh my gosh, if I left this somewhere, I'm gonna be worried all night." And I said a prayer to the angels, and I was like, "Angels, help me find this. Help me find this. Help me find this." And sure enough, my son Bennett comes down, and he's like, "What's wrong, Dad?" I'm like, "I can't find my wallet." And he's like, "Okay, let me look." And he opens up this drawer like in this little part of the kitchen, and I'm thinking just as he's grabbing them, like, dude, it's not going to be in there. Don't even do it. Like you're just wasting time in my mind. And he opens it up. He's like, "Is this your wallet?" And I was like, "Oh my God, that was my wallet. What was it doing in there?" So, I mean, I can tell you, like, it is amazing how fast things can happen if you really align to it. I got to ask a question. What have you seen with angels? What are some of the stories? What are some of the areas you've seen support recently, maybe in the last year from some of your clients?
My favorite story about angels is when I was only using mediumship. I had not seen an angel. I was seeing people on the other side and doing readings and helping with healings with Reiki. But
Hmm.
there was one time I saw a demon. I saw it in a session.
Hmm.
There were loved ones around, and there was this demon trying to attach to the person. And all the Reiki symbols weren't working. I'm like, nothing's working. And I prayed. I said, help me. And this huge light being just came into the room. I mean, 10, 11 feet tall. Angels are huge. They're huge. They're these huge beams of light, and annihilated it like within seconds. And I heard Gabriel. I'll never forget it. And from that point on, I only use them for healing. I pray to them. I ask them to do the healing. They're experts at it. They understand energy healing, like we can't. I don't know that we can understand what they do.
Yeah, let's unpack that a little bit because, we look at it as spiritual healing or energy healing or soul
Right.
healing. It's this energy that, kind of works at the higher level. What have you seen with some of the channeled energies? Because a lot of people may not realize it's not just decision points that you give people information on. You channel energy frequency that goes into the person that you're working with and in many respects comes from this higher spiritual realm. Explain that.
So, what I'll do is if someone is having a health issue, I'll pray for them and ask the angels to send healing. And when say the prayer, I'll watch where the angels go. They'll
Mm,
go into an organ, they'll go into a past life, they'll actually go to the root. They'll show me the human body and soul like a grid. And they
wow.
go into an organ, or they'll go outer layers and they'll go into the etheric, uh, you know, aura, or they'll go even into past lives, and that they'll show the root of the issue. It's pretty fascinating, and they show light going into that, and the person will feel a shift.
What have you seen as some of the roots that you've been shown? And again, folks, we're not in the medical realm here. We're not doctors. We are like looking at the spiritual root of things that show up in our materium world. Like everything comes from the spirit world. The Kabbalah wrote, in the Kabbalah book, they believe that this third dimension is literally just a shadow of everything happening at the fourth and fifth dimensions. And
Yeah.
so it's all up there, all those potentialities, and then the shadow is cast in the third dimension as something real. And it's the same with our bodies. Like there is a real energy somewhere that is casting a shadow, creating what we're dealing with, and that could be, oh, this isn't going well here, this isn't going well there. What do you see as some of the roots, Debbie?
So yeah, it's very interesting to see someone and they go into the organ. So they'll go, let's say, for example, someone's liver. And then I'll start seeing, oh, there's an ancestor on the other side who also had a problem with the liver. And then another ancestor who had a liver issue. And what I've started to see is sometimes the emotional cause that runs through a family will reside in an organ, or each family has a weaker organ. It's pretty fascinating. Once you can, align with that, the entire family could get cleared of it.
Wow. Wow. All right. When you look at things like darker energies on the planet, what are you seeing? A lot of people say, well, that's lifting, or they say it's kind of staying the same, or where do you see that kind of that I don't want to use the word, I won't use that word. I'll just say kind of that yin yang between light dark. Like where do you see it? And are you seeing people actually affected by demons and energies like that these days?
Yeah, it's so extreme now, Darius. I
Oh,
don't think it was as extreme until it's very extreme. It's very light, extreme light, and there's extreme dark. And one of the things that's bothered me and affected
yeah.
is
Hmm.
I've seen these, very gifted, light, bright children, very young. You can tell they're here as healers, like very young. But I've also seen some very dark, like I'll look at a couple kids I've seen and their eyes are black. The soul is red with the eyes. And if you see eyes that have no pupil, that's usually dark energy. Yeah.
Hmm.
So very extreme, more extreme than I'm used to.
Okay. What are
Yeah.
some signs, Debbie, that maybe someone is being affected by, I'm just gonna use the word non-angelic God energy. It's such a
Yeah.
nice way to look at it because I mean, there's either dark or light, and it's like we're in this polarity. So like, what does it look like when we're having too much of the other stuff? How do you see that showing up in people's lives or even in their energy field?
So usually that type of energy, I get anxiety around that. I don't feel good around it. The person's usually more hostile
Hmm.
or irritable. And again, the eyes, you'll see the pupils are pretty dilated. And
Okay.
it doesn't mean that they got their eyes dilated or they're on drugs. It just means their soul is somehow been tapped into. It is a sign if the eyes are really dark. Yeah.
What about life circumstances? Do you see certain things correlate to a lot of negative energy showing up in someone's life?
It can. So you remember the Celestine prophecy? long
Vaguely.
time
I
ago. Yeah.
listened to the books. I did. Yeah, I listened to the audiobooks, but I barely remember. I barely remember it.
So this is, I like to look at patterns. I've seen that the more the person's on a spiritual path, the more things line up. Like, oh my God,
Mm,
that was so easy. That was so easy. Ding, ding, ding. I've seen it with you,
mm.
your marriage and your life change
Yeah.
and your story. I've seen it with myself, with clients. Now, the opposite can happen when you're not in that, if your dark energies kind of grabbed you. Maybe you had surgery and you never got cleared of, sometimes you can get entity during surgery, or you may have had a terrible breakup and entity can attach because you're in a low aura. And the same thing will happen in reverse. The person will attract negative after negative after negative. It seems to be a trail of that.
Okay.
It's very similar either way.
Okay. So I want to ask a question of people here today, and then we're going to get into 11:11, and then we're going to get to some questions. But does anyone feel like they're kind of attracting the more difficult path, and things
Right.
just aren't working out, and they can't figure out why? I agree. I think that's a very telltale sign that you're not in alignment. But I want to hear from all of you. Few people writing in. Lydia said, yes, I feel like I'm almost there. Yes, patterns are tough to break. Yes, I do feel like I have some issues, says Dolores. Marion, last year has been the hardest of my life. Truly a test. Thank you, Marion. So what I want to do for anybody who has those type of questions, we want to get some angelic guidance and maybe like a decision point. What you've got to do very clearly, you've got to change the course down the road you're going. That may be a complete U-turn, that may be just veering off, and then you've got to embody that energy. And that's one of the things I love, Debbie, about what you do. You don't just give guidance, you also help us clear the energy and embody the angelic energy. It's super, super important. Laura says, yes, I had a very traumatic past experience. Rebecca, yes, I've worked on it, but seems like it only leads to something else. Um, yeah, yeah, lots of people writing in with some challenges. Debbie, when we are communicating with the angels, what are some of the quick signs maybe that we can tap into as listeners today to get a sense that maybe the angels are trying to tell us, hey, we need to change course, or maybe this thing is the way to go, or maybe it's not the way to go? What are some things you look for as signs?
So if you are what I call spinning in your head,
Hmm.
what if this happens? What if that happens? What if this? None of it's happening, but it's like you're in it. What if,
What if this fails? What if this doesn't work? What if, right, that kind of thing.
what if I never get better? What if I just that if you're in the what ifs and they're full of fear, that consciousness is where you got to go. Angels, make it stop. Because that consciousness is where low energy will start feeding on it and start
Is that
giving.
demonic?
Not
You
all,
know,
yeah.
not
Yeah,
all.
not all, yeah.
Well, the Egyptians and in the Egyptians and the Kabbalists believe that the ego was Satan.
Hmm.
That like that ego, that fearful ego that's always bouncing around, and like all that worry and separation is separation from our true higher Christos God, self.
Yes.
So it's, like if you're just constantly like, oh, this, that little voice, it's like when it's casting doubt on everything, like that cannot be from like Prime Source Creator. It's just not. Prime Source Creator wouldn't be like, well, this isn't going to work. That's not going to work. You're going to get old and you're going to suck. I mean, God doesn't see you that way. The angels don't see you
No.
that way. So it's like you got to kind of go, all right, look, this is pretty obvious. This is not. So just everyone remember that. If you're hearing this stuff over and over again, just like Debbie said, like just ask the angels, like, stop. That's not, I'll tell y'all like it is. That's not God.
It's not God or angels or the light. The light's not talking to you. And you angels are awesome at making it stop and change it to light.
Mm.
Go in from there, go into like, oh my God, I would just love to do this. Get out of
Mm.
that thought and go into that and switch it.
Yes. Okay, you mentioned I want to talk about 1111, but I got a question from Margaret. And
Yeah.
she says something pretty interesting. Maybe we can start kind of opening the door with her. Margaret wrote in and said, "I had surgery 4 years ago, and I haven't felt like myself since." You know a lot about surgeries and some of the things that can go on in that. What do you see with Margaret? She just wrote in at about 1 minute ago. And is there anything coming in that she needs to know or anything that we can help her with today?
Yeah, that she does have an entity from surgery. Her heart is going backwards from the chakra. Heart chakra is in reverse. So
Ooh.
angels can set it straight and redirect it. And I'm just asking them to redirect her heart chakra and release anything not of the light affecting Margaret. Everything was blocked here. I wonder if the surgery was in this area. Could
Yeah,
also be,
Margaret, if you could
yeah,
write to us. Yeah. Oh my
like neck,
goodness.
heart, from the heart to the neck. That whole area seems to be, it was affected by the surgery. And the angels just cleared this entire area energetically.
Wow. Margaret, write to us. She says I had a total hysterectomy.
Mm.
So let me know, Margaret, what you are feeling. Now, would you say that the surgery reversed the heart chakra spinning, or was it some other type of entity that did that,
The
or both?
trauma, so why a chakra would go in reverse is trauma.
Okay.
And
Wow.
then once we're in trauma, entities like, whoo, I can get
Hmm.
energy because our
Right.
aura lowered. Yeah.
Right. I mean, what a lot of people don't realize is you have sort of like there is like the divine God source, angelic, higher energy that it just is always expanding. It's self-generating. It continues. Then you have like the lower beings that actually need to feed energy, and those
Yeah.
beings cannot create their own energy. You know, demons, all sorts of attachments, lower vibrational things. They cannot create their energy, so they have to feed on your energy. What
Yeah.
energy do they like? They do not like happiness. They do not like you living your goals. They do not like you feeling fulfilled. They like chaos. They like struggle. They like trauma. They like pain. They like confusion. So that's where they
Addiction.
get their energy. Addiction. Yeah.
They love
Um,
addiction.
explain a little bit about that world as the angels see it and how you've kind of come to know it. Because I think I think at some point we've got to get really clear on like what we are and and what is going on the planet. The idea that well, it's all just okay and everything is all love and light. Yes, at some level we're able to like transmute it all and be like Christ where nothing affects us. And then yeah, but to a lot of people that are in the events of struggle, there is very clearly like, upside and downside. And what do you see and how do you see that, Debbie?
So I think that anyone can overcome any 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 darkness in their life with the help of prayer to angels and God. I believe there's help on the other side for everyone. I've
Mm.
had it myself. I've prayed for help and gotten it several times. I know it's real. I see people do it. When we say a prayer for help, we put an energy in the universe that didn't exist until we said the prayer.
Mm.
So you don't have to say it a certain way, just say it. But that can start a transformation. And I also think angels can help heal energy blocks and things that cause trauma. I think there's a cool combination with energy healing and also I love EMDR. I love referring people with trauma to therapies like EMDR and tapping. Yeah, I think that helps a lot.
Yeah, I agree. What are
Mhm.
you seeing with 1111 and any significance around that, and maybe some doorways or portals that people can open or magnify, tomorrow or which will be 1111 technically, but also in the weeks and months that follow 1111.
Listen, if you're going to do it any day, do it on 11/11. I am doing what, XYZ, your dream. Say it tomorrow out loud.
Yeah.
It is the day to manifest. It's the day, and tell the angels, I am, I'm driving a Maserati, whatever it is, fast.
Fast. And what if you miss it? What if it's 11:15 or December or 2026 and you missed it all? What do you do?
The whole day we have 24 hours of 11:11,
Well, I
right?
mean, for people that hear this, let's say a week from now, what would you recommend?
It still works. It's just
Hmm.
maybe stronger tomorrow. It
Okay.
still works. Listen, I had a uncle who was handicapped. He had polio. And he was like, I'm driving a car. And he had no use of his legs. He drove a car. And this is way back in like the 30s
Wow.
because he made up his mind. If you guys make up your mind, you can make it happen. And then ask angels to help you with your mind. If
Mhm.
you can combine that, make up your mind and ask angels to help your mind, you can do anything.
Wow. I
Mhm.
love that. Yeah, well, it's the realm of miracles and it's a realm of
Yeah.
heavenly answers and angelic healing, which we're going to be talking about today. And we're going to be diving in because I know some of y'all say, okay, Darius, we get it, but we've got questions. So I want to go to some questions. I want to try to move pretty fast if we can, maybe one
Okay.
question or two from folks. I know everyone loves to have Debbie on, but let me go to some of the folks here. I said first come, first serve. So I'm going to go straight to my friend Marion. And Marion, what question do you have for Debbie today? And good to see you on the call, Marion.
Hey, thank you.
Hi.
Hi,
Hi,
Marion.
Debbie. Hi. One quick question. Relationships, the
All
right
right.
person. I don't know. We had a session like about 2 years ago, and number six was relevant then. And I'm like laughing to myself, like 6 weeks, 6 months, 6 years.
Well,
Do you
angels
like?
oh wait, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just thinking, like, like, is there any, like, can they clarify a little bit? Um, yeah.
I Timing is difficult with angels, but let me go back in to your question. Your question is about love, right?
Yes.
I just heard February. That's all. I don't know what
Oh,
the six means anymore, but I heard February this time.
thank you. Cool.
Way
Okay.
taller than you. Way
Oh,
taller than you. I don't know how tall you are, but he's way taller.
quite short. Yeah. That makes sense.
Wow.
Sweet. Thank you, Debbie.
All
He's
right.
supposed to
Thank
be
you,
tinier.
Marion.
Okay.
All right. Wow. Okay. Very interesting. I'm going to go now. I got some more here. Let me go to where is the person that had the surgery? I wanted to find her, but I'm going to go to Linda. Hold on one second. Got a lot of folks writing in here. Hold on one second. Okay, I'm going to go to someone new that I've never heard from. Nita, Nita. Nita, you have a question for Debbie Johnson, sending you an unmute request. There we go.
Hey there.
Hey, what's going on?
I would just like to have some clarification around what my next steps should be to help someone very close to me who has experienced tremendous trauma. Am
Mm.
I within my, I want to say rights, that's not exactly the right word, but am I allowed to ask for help on their behalf?
Nita, thank you so. I'm sorry about your friend. You're always allowed to ask for help to the archangels. So archangels can't do anything without permission from the person's soul. So if you ask them to help your loved one, they'll ask the soul of the loved one before they would help. It's like a prayer for them.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Um, and as an extension of that, um, they are, as well as I, we are experiencing extreme financial distress, which isn't normal, but it's become our normal in the last couple of years. Do you have any insights about that for me?
So angels are saying there's help with that in the new year. Um, there's like funds that start to come in that that felt stagnant, they start to come in the new year. So again, I would ask angels for help with that too, because I see it coming by the new year.
Hmm.
Thank you so much. And I just want to say, you did a reading for me a couple of years back after the loss of someone that I loved, like the love of my life. And I had a dream um, about 6 or 8 months ago where he came to me and he literally took it was like a beach ball of the world. He took it and left. And I got this message almost that I was supposed to release him and let him go. Um, and I keep trying to do that. I am not able to so far. But I feel like he wants me to let him go. Am I right?
Okay, this is a great question, and this is for anyone who's dreamt of a loved one. Tell me what you saw his face. Was he
Um,
smiling?
no, he was kind of more blank. It was not, um, it was almost, it wasn't like he was emotionless. He was very kind. There was a kindness to it,
Okay,
but it was
calm.
very, yeah, it was calm, but I got this sense from him, it's now. Um, and it wasn't cruel in any sense at all. It was very loving, but I got the sense that he was saying, you need to get on with your life.
Hmm.
I like that I like, but I will tell you this, the calmness and the sweetness in his face is he's telling you he has peace. Now you can move on. You get peace.
Hmm.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. That
All
kind of
right.
got
Thank you.
that.
Wow.
Thanks so much.
Wow, Nita. Thank you. Wow. Sending you love. Yeah. Let me just go in quick. We've got Dawn. Dawn, I can see you on video, so I'm gonna I'll see if I can pin you here. Hey, Dawn, how's it
Hi.
going?
Good.
Hey,
Thank
what
you
can
for
we do
picking.
for you today? Yeah, for sure. I love
Um,
your background. I was like, oh, I love her background. She's got to come on the
Thank
show.
you.
It's perfect.
Thanks. I had experienced trauma after trauma after trauma until I literally lost everything. And then I found Darius and started
Oh,
getting aligned, and I started to feel like I'm not getting the traumas nonstop, but I don't feel like I'm really moving forward, and I feel like something's got me stuck or blocked. I was
Oh my
just
gosh.
wondering if you can see anything or help with anything.
Oh, thank you for being here. And I totally understand that. I've been there myself. I've been there, and it causes more anxiety. So sometimes I'll see if someone is low in a vitamin, and I actually pick that up. So it might help a lot just getting the physical body nourished. I saw D. Have you ever checked to see if your blood work to see if you're low?
Lately, I've been going back and forth to the doctors because I keep getting, they can't figure out what's wrong. I keep getting a swelling in either my gallbladder or my liver or something. And they keep doing blood work, but they keep telling me that everything's fine. And I keep having all these problems and they don't seem to know what's wrong with me.
Did they check your vitamin levels of D?
I think they said that that was going to be in the new one.
Okay, check that.
Okay.
Check that because that's immune. That's immune. It fights the immune system and also reduces cortisol. I feel like you're low in it, but you got to check it, double check it.
Okay.
I think you're on to some kind of healing through the blood work. So I would follow this path you're on to get your health straight. I feel like
Okay.
they're going to find it. I think they may even find it before the end of the year and have like an answer for you, which takes a lot of stress. This is stressful not knowing what's wrong.
Yes, yeah. I've wanted to do healing my whole life, and and then I fell into all these traumas and everything. I lost everything, and then, so then I've been stuck, and then just trying to find my way back so that I can get my way back to helping again. And so I appreciate your help. Thank you so much.
Would you like a clearing real
Yes,
quick?
please.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I'm just going to ask Archangel Michael. I see something attached to the lower. So low energy likes the back of our neck and the base of our spine. And I feel it on the base of the spine. So Archangel Michael, please clear and release anything not of the light affecting her now. Take it to the light now. And tell me if you have a deep breath in there.
I could feel a release.
Yeah.
I could still feel it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
being here. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Dawn. Thank you, Dawn.
Yeah.
Sending love. I got to tell everybody, let me just remove the pin here for, you've got to get to a place where you can have some calm. If you're constantly like this all day, and I know a lot of times with work and life that happens, but 30 minutes a day, 40 minutes a day, you've got to find a place, a space where you can just absolutely be calm, turn off your phone, turn everything off. That's when we actually connect to the higher realms. We connect and activate our higher DNA. That's when we actually get the wisdom and the guidance. And we also stop feeding a lot of this low vibrational energy, because as long as we're in like this fight or flight, fear, whatever it is, we're feeding a lot of that stuff that wants to hold us back. And just like you said, Debbie, it's attaching to us at these points. And then we're like, why do I not get out of struggle and constantly feeling like everything is against me? It's because they are oftentimes like keeping you there because you're giving them a hell of a food source.
Correct.
And the moment you can just stop and be like, everything is good, everything is aligned, everything is perfect, and just stay there for 30 minutes, just don't get any stimuli, go for a walk in nature, you're going to see how you start to now open up some more connection, and yeah, maybe talk to the angels, connect to the angels,
Yep.
do things of that sort. It's super important because they're feeding off this stuff. And a lot of people are feeling it. So I'm going to go to Nancy. Nancy, I'm just going with pretty backgrounds today. No, God, Spirit's just guiding me to big people. Nancy, how's it going?
Oh,
What's your question for Debbie?
Oh, it's going great. Thank you so much for taking my call. Debbie, I
Yeah.
did have a reading with you several years ago, and you were so
nice.
right on. You saw my grandma, and you kept going,
Oh.
"No, I'm here, but I'm here with the green." And it was if she was down by her piano downstairs with the green curtain. And
Oh.
yeah, it was so amazing.
Oh
But
wow, that sounds like my lamp story. Green curtain, lamp, like just these things like, how often do we have green curtains? I mean, it's not the
exactly.
70s anymore. It's like people don't do green curtains. Yeah.
But one of the things I've been looking for was confirmation because I've been working on healing my cats. They've had some issues, and I have decided to try and do some energetic healing work. And I do ask the angels for assistance, and I believe it's working. I just wanted confirmation. Of course, then I looked down at my phone and it said 11:11.
Oh, that's
So
confirmation right there.
exactly. So I'm guessing it is working. For myself, I do have a right foot, a right ankle that swells all the time,
Hmm.
periodically when I walk on it a lot, and I haven't been able to fix that.
All right, let's look and see why. I'm gonna see if I see where the angels go in the body. Okay, so let's see if they go to a root cause. They're going to the kidneys.
Oh,
You have lower back issue
not at
at
all.
all? No?
No.
With one of your, hang on, hold on. One of your kitties has kidney?
Yes,
You're empathing your cat.
I am, because she's been getting better.
Okay,
Oh.
but hold on. It's working on the cat, but you don't want to take it on.
I do not.
Angels release what's not mine. This is a common thing that happens with empaths, healers. You want so bad for the person to get help, you'll take it on. Angels, just keep saying that.
Angels release what's not mine.
And it'll take anything you're holding, even if it's not from just cat, everybody, anything, the show. I would keep working on that because I think that is I don't think you have an issue.
No, I'm very healthy.
I think your kitty could
I'm
be
pulling
causing
hers.
you. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, she's finally putting weight on, so I know she's doing better. I moved her across country to Hawaii, and that stressed her out.
It's okay. She's gonna do better, but now you gotta do
Good.
better.
Now I got to do better. And then my finances, they're like just not, they're almost there, but they're just not quite. And I'm started up a new business here and I'm really close, but it's not there yet.
So picture your business in your
Mhm.
mind. Just kind of picture it. You got to change one thing, not about the actual business, but the way you're promoting it. And you already know what it is. Angels say your intuition has already told you, I got to change this, and you haven't done it yet.
I got to start my YouTube channel.
There you go.
Oh my
I know.
God. So,
And
so
somebody else
fun.
told me that.
They
Yeah.
tell
Okay.
us. They
I
tell
know.
us. We just don't listen sometimes. They
I
told
know.
you.
They did. They actually told me through somebody else. And yeah.
If
There you
it
go.
resonated and it's still coming up to change something, yeah,
Oh,
go for
thank
it.
you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Nancy. Wow, that
Thank
is
you.
amazing. I
Yeah.
want to mention, double back to Margaret, who wrote in and said, can you ask Debbie to remove the entities that I got after my hysterectomy? And Margaret, I think, was the one we worked on,
Yep.
the first person. So I wrote Margaret and I said, no, she actually did a clearing after we identified that. So no, you're done. So
She's
just to let you
good.
know, Margaret, if you missed that, go check the replay. You're probably, the first one. It's probably around the 20-minute mark. I'm going to
Yeah.
unmute Julie. She wrote to us. I'll share her question. I'm very depleted after bracing myself, I think, to care a parent. She also works in a children's hospital. How does she regain her energy? Julie, you're calling in on an iPhone. What's going on? Anything else you want to share about that?
Yeah, I've just been really tired for the past 6 months. I
Oh,
have
okay.
sort of mild immune um, difficulties, not enough to keep me from work most days, but I'm really tired. And I'm just trying to find a way to get through one more year before I retire. And I just don't like feeling like this. I know I've had a long time of parenting, single mom, supporting two households and working at Children's Hospital full time up to about just before the pandemic, and then 4 days a week since. Um, and it's just a lot. I
Yeah. Have you ever had a thyroid issue?
Not that I'm aware of.
I pick up thyroid is just low right now because of the stress. I don't know, you might want to check the TSH or the thyroid hormone because I feel like that is low while you're under so much stress. It's possible.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that would
Yeah.
just make the body tired. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The stress has just been sort of, for so many years, I just sort of made it through. And then now I'm sort of allowing myself to stop a bit, take some more vacation, that kind of thing. And I just, like, I don't have much energy in the afternoon, evening. In the morning, I have a bit. I use it where I can, but I don't know
Let's
how long it's.
Yeah, let's check and see if you have an entity, but that wasn't the first thing I picked up. It was more health related,
Yeah.
like making sure your health is in order. I always recommend check our health first. And if you're doing everything for your health and you can't find it, you probably have a major energy attachment or attack. So, but let's see if there's anything there. Is your father on the other side?
Yeah.
He seems to be in your field, but not
Hmm.
crossed over. He hasn't ascended yet. He's kind of hanging on.
Oh, wow.
Did he have a health issue?
Yep. Definitely.
You're feeling
Did
some.
he pass recently,
No, he
Julie?
passed in 2017.
Oh,
So did my
okay.
mom, 3 months apart.
Nine
That's
And
years.
that's
he
hard.
had significant
8 years.
health issues with cardiac, and then he lasted till about 87, and then he had dementia, um, or Alzheimer's. Yeah. So,
Oh,
but I carry some of his energy. I know that.
you do, and you're carrying some of his symptoms.
Whoa.
Angel,
Cardiac.
yeah, double check your iron levels also, that you
Okay.
get enough iron, and also angels release what's not mine. You don't have entity, you have your dad kind of hanging
Debbie,
out.
do you send him to the light? Do you show him the light, or how do you handle those things.
We're gonna do all that. We're gonna do that. And she also
Okay.
has to release empathically her dad. She's empathic
Mm.
his symptoms.
Wow.
So angels, please take him to the light, give him peace.
Hmm.
It's different than like a demon attack or anything like that. A loved
Mm-hmm.
one, sometimes they miss you so much, they hang on.
Hmm.
You have his symptoms.
Uh-oh.
From him, empathing,
From
but still
him, but
check.
not from you. Yeah, that's okay. I mean, that
Right.
that can be released. Yeah.
Still
Mm-hmm.
check. Still check your health. Say check, double check all the things because it's all preventable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I'm finding myself in a bit of a loop because, in order to have good cardiac health, you have to get out there and walk a whole lot. Um, and I'm tired in the evenings. It's like, yeah.
That might be the connection. Thyroid, check blood work, thyroid and iron.
Mm-hmm.
Ferritin is what it's usually called in the blood work.
Yeah,
If we
ferritin.
don't, yeah, if we don't have enough iron, the blood can't get to the heart.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Julie. I'm gonna go real quick. I got a cool dude, Joseph, over here. Hey, Joseph, I see you, man. I think that's Joseph. Let me see if I can unmute you. Send you an unmute request. Joseph, are you there? Let's see. Hey, Joseph, sending you an unmute request. Are you there? Hold on. Let's see. See if you can unmute. All right, we'll work. Let's see if we can get. So whenever I see a guy, I'm like, "Hey, there's a dude. Let's talk. Let's talk to the guy. See what's going on with the men of the world." Not that there's not a lot of awakened guys, but all the women are so far ahead of us dudes. At least from what I see on the show. So, Joseph, I don't know if we can unmute you, but if you could unmute. If not, I think we'll move to the process here. Yeah, I don't know. Joseph's not able to unmute Mr. Joseph. So what I'm going to do, Joseph, we can get you unmuted later. We'll work on that. Debbie, what I want to do, sorry, man, I don't know what's going on. So what I want to do, you never know. Let me get some questions coming in on the line here. Joseph, if you want to type in your question too, we could do that. All right. So we had a question about a home, and I wanted to get to her as well as Kathy, but I got to find it. Kathy, if you could send in that question. She had a question about, I think, a home they were trying to move into. It was way down the list. I don't know. It's crazy on this side, Debbie. I see so many questions. I want to get to
I
everybody,
couldn't do
and
it. I don't know how you did it.
yeah, and I'm trying, and I'm like, oh, I want to ask that one. Mm, 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 mm. Yeah, all right, let's do this. If Kathy, you sent that in earlier, if that was Kathy, in fact, and not my imagination, send it in again. We're going to do the home clearing process. And Debbie, what do we need to know about this process before we do that? And I'm also going to let everyone know if you're listening in on Facebook, X, or YouTube, we're going to cut the live stream. If you want to grab the full process, go to Debbie's page at UWealth Revolution, which is uwealthrevolution.com/Debbie30. That's where we're going to have the replay tonight. So everyone on the live stream, we love you, and you're going to love this process. So